See, Piper's okay with that. Piper Gentry is here. Amber and Dan, Mom and Dad. Hi, you guys.
Hi, good morning.
It is so good to see you. It's been a year since I've seen you all.
Yeah, it's been a busy year.
And the drive-in from Bangor this morning was uneventful.
Yes, it was uneventful.
Everybody followed the rules of the traffic patterns and everything else. Great. Glad to hear.
Yes.
Last year we had a little, little.
Mm-hmm.
We were in a hurry last year.
We were a little late.
No, you made it here on time, but you were anyway. So things are great. Piper looks beautiful. She looks wonderful. How's she doing?
She's doing wonderful. She's doing really great. She's progressing as she should for her developmental age. And
look at somebody's cracking her up. These guys are cracking her up. She was smiling.
Yeah. She has a little attitude face every now and then.
So take us back to the beginning. About a year ago, April, was it Easter time?
Yeah, it was March. She was born in March. So when we found out I was pregnant, we had like a 50-50 shot of going preterm. So I was checked regularly and everything was going fantastic. Things looked as they should. And then one day it just didn't feel right, and you're hoping it's in your head.
Right.
But we came in, got checked to be on the safe side, and it turns out I was starting labor. So
how many weeks were you at that point?
24.
Oh boy.
So they told me this, and I had left school because I teach third grade, and I told work I'd be back in a couple hours. I wasn't back for 9 months. So that day they said they were going to wheel me up to labor and delivery. They were doing everything they could to stop, and it seemed like it was stopping. So they sent Dan home to pack a bag because I was going to be there for the long haul. And while he was gone, despite their best efforts, they couldn't stop it. And Piper came later that night, just before 7 o'clock.
Dan, were you back at the hospital at that point?
I missed it. I was packing a bag and speeding on my way down here. I didn't get pulled over. I was going as fast as I could, but a couple seconds too late.
You know what? Probably a huge disappointment for you that you weren't able to be there.
Well, she's a blessing. So
of course she is, but it's hard on Mom and Dad. You know, you want to be together for this.
Yeah, and I was thankful my mom had stayed back. So my mom was with me, so I wasn't by myself during that time.
So what time was she born?
She was born at 6:40 p.m., and it was wonderful. She was able to take her first breath on her own, but I didn't get to see her. They took her away instantaneously.
How much did she weigh?
1 pound, 10 ounces, and she was 12.5 inches long.
So when you're at the grocery store and you're buying a pound of butter, she's just a little more than that.
And just about the length of a ruler.
Oh my gosh.
So they took her away obviously right away, and we knew that. So I think she was born at 6:40. I think we got to see her at 8:30, 9 o'clock that night for the first time. So we got to see her, and then we obviously had to go rest. And I don't think I got to touch her for, I think it was 5 days. I finally got to put my hand in her isolette and touch her finger. And then
was that one of the worst things?
It was crazy.
Hardest things?
It was unreal. And when people look at my finger next to hers, they think it's like Dan's hand. My finger looks huge next to her fingers in that isolette. And then I think about a week later, I got to hold her, and it took a whole team of people to get her out and get her all of her tubes and things hooked up to my my smock, so we could do that kangaroo, that skin to skin holding in. I tried not to cry, but all the nurses were like, just let it out. So
well, how can you not? You're scared.
Yeah, so
you don't know what to expect.
Yeah, it was a really holding her for the first time was crazy because you couldn't really even see her when you were holding her because she was so small. But it was a pretty great day. So it was a week later that I got to hold her, and then from then on out, it was pretty regular that we got to hold her.
And how long was Piper in the hospital?
We were there for 105 days.
And I bet you counted every one.
Yes, we did.
Dan, you counted every one too. Because did you try to maintain some sort of work schedule?
Yep. Yeah, I did maintain my schedule pretty regularly. Just getting here as much as I could. I travel for work, so I was gone a bit, but I was still able to get here and see her as much as I could.
And you're here the whole time?
Yep, I was here the whole time. I was able to take a leave of work, and then I extended it, actually, so I could spend some more time with her once she came home. So I was here all the time, and then once she was able to start eating, I moved in to the hospital.
After the 105 days, all of a sudden, the whole medical team that's been with you 24/7, they go away, and you're going home, the two of you guys with a preemie. How much do you think she had gained in the hospital at that point? Do you remember?
She came home at 6 pounds, so
Okay.
she gained 5 pounds while being in the hospital.
Okay, so you're bringing home still a small little baby girl. Mm-hmm. What was going through your mind when all of a sudden you guys are it?
Super scary. Yeah, it was. She had a lot of trouble eating. She would choke like really bad when she was eating. So we bought so many different bottles to try it out. I mean, and there were times where she would turn blue, and I would have to rush her out to the nurses station and ask them to help me. That's kind of what prolonged our stay in the hospital. So here I'm all by myself. So feeding her was really nerve-wracking, but thankfully I had made friends with some of the NICU nurses, so I was able to reach out to them.
That was a good move.
Yes, yes. So I was able to reach out to them and ask for their help. And the NICU was so amazing. They said until we had our regular doctor, I was able to call. So I did call a couple times and ask for some help, but it's scary going from all that help to figuring it out on your own.
So Piper is beautiful.
Thank you.
She's sporting some jeans and some little moccasins today. And to look at Piper, wouldn't have any idea at all the challenges that she faced when she came into the world, the things you guys went through.
Yeah.
What's a day like for you guys now?
It's a normal day with a 1.5-year-old. She's doing everything she should be doing. She's about 20 months old, about 15 months corrected. So she's right there with the 15-month-olds. Pretty typical, wanting to go, wanting to do her own thing. She's very independent. She was named Pistol Piper in the hospital by the NICU nurses, I think, like week 2 because of her attitude. That has not gone away. So she's still Pistol Piper for sure. But yeah, life is great, and she has a clean bill of health, so it's just amazing.
That is a miracle and a blessing.
Mm-hmm,
We've been
absolutely.
asking people to put their money where the miracles are.
Yes.
This would be one
Yes.
right here.
Oh, gosh,
this is a
absolutely.
prime example.
Yes.
So Children's Miracle Network, how did they come into your lives?
Oh my gosh, they came in right away. They were wonderful. So we live in Bangor, so it's not too far, but it is kind of a way.
Yeah.
It's a ways in here. So they were able to give us gas vouchers to come in and drive for both Dan and I, and then we got meal vouchers, which is huge because eating becomes the last thing you think about during that time. So it was really nice for somebody else to kind of think about that and feed you during that time. So they were really wonderful. And also they organized the preemie picnics and the different things to get us all back together, which is nice to collaborate and communicate with other families who have preemies. We just had one not too long ago, and it was really nice to connect with another family that was in the hospital at the same time and kind of hear their story and suggestions and things that worked for them. So it's a really great thing that helps out families when they really need it.
You know, I was going to say, let's start asking for some calls to come in.
Yes,
But you know
please.
what? 10 calls have already come in just while we've been sharing Piper's story. Let's hear it for 10 calls. Yeah, and Piper's okay with that.
Yes.
See, we keep checking. 784-KIDS, 784-5437, our number to call. Dynamic Recycling, you guys are doing it. So Dynamic Recycling's here for you guys today.
Yes,
They wanted to be here for you guys, and we're doing it together. The number is 784-KIDS, 784-5437. And I know we just talked about a lot of things that were very scary and hard for you to talk about. You did a fantastic job doing it. So this morning, people are thinking, oh, it's Saturday. Maybe we're going to have a little rain. Let's go out. Let's buy some coffee. Maybe we'll go to lunch. Maybe turn that into a pledge.
Absolutely.
And skip coffee today?
Yes.
What would you say to them if they're making a decision to call
I
in a
would
pledge?
say, honestly, you never know when something like this is going to affect you personally or a family member or somebody you know. Donate. It's amazing. It does so much for the families. It's just a sigh of relief that other people are out there willing to help.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to make you cry. But thank you. That's coming from the heart, you guys. That's why we're all about this, aren't we? It's coming from the heart. You're listening to the Children's Miracle Network Radiothon. And I think what we'll do, I think we're going to give you guys a break and let you start your Saturday and have
Sounds
some
good.
fun with Piper. You're amazing family. You guys have been through a lot. And digging deep and letting us know what happens with you guys is it's a real
thank you so much.
It's a real treat to hear from you guys again. We're going to continue to ask for calls as we go, but
Good.
we're going to let you guys have a break.
All right,
okay?
awesome. Thank
All
you
right.
so much.
You're listening to the Children's Miracle Network Radiothon, a service of the La Crosse Media Group.